Hey, what's up, you guys? Your girl Gigi back to talk about love / life after lockup. This episode was a lot, and we're gonna get to all of it. Your girl was able to wake up this good old Saturday, have a good old solo dolo sesh and go check up on DVR. And that was one of the episodes that was on. Hold on, let me tighten this shit up because I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I gotta have on this robe real tight today because of all times the heater wants to break in our house. It is during the winter, so it is like 64, 65 degrees, and I ain't got time for it because I do not F's with the cold. But before we get to the episode, you know what to do. Subscribe, like the button, hit the like button, everything. You know how this thing works. So let's not waste the time. Let's get to talking about love after lockup. So we see Cheryl. Cheryl comes running out the house crying because Josh's mama they popped a good time. Now, the fact that she popped you, I don't care because Cheryl, you low-key deserved it. The type of attitude and ungratefulness that you even have, because this woman, she didn't even she allowed you to stay in her house. She didn't have to do that. You drove hundreds of miles to a goddamn state, and you weren't even sure that you was going to be able to stay in this woman's home. But nonetheless, she come talking about she hit me. I don't deserve that. That bitch is out of her mind. But first of all, I want to sit there and talk about how you said last week, anyways, that if that bitch keeps talking stupid, I'm going to knock her teeth out. So where's all that heat now, Cheryl? Where's all that puff in your chest at now, Cheryl? She must have popped you a good time for you to sit there and realize, oh, I really ain't about that life as much as I thought I was. Like, Cheryl, you ain't as big as bad as you thought, girl. I swear, you are 96 pounds at the most, okay? So Tina's in there acting like she ain't do nothing. She told Josh, I just told her kid to clean up the water. Now, Josh is stuck in between the middle of them two heifers because it's like his mom and then Cheryl. Like, he can't really pick between the two. So Cheryl, after she done complaining, goes back in the house and then sits on the couch. And the type of entitlement, you don't like this woman, you just got hit by her, but yet you can go back to her house and then sit on her couch and then talk shit about her in front of her to Josh. Talking about, oh, how dare you want to take her side. She was trying to talk to my son, tell him what to do. I'm his mother, I can do it, I can clean it up. She would sit there to my, oh, I'm not raising my son right, but you can't even raise your son and stay out of prison. Oh, really? But you're the dumbass still talking to him. You're the dummy still paying his restitution, his probation fees, and about to be paying for what? Y'all go apartment hunting. Guess who's gonna be paying that rent, Cheryl? You. You go get pay for groceries. That's gonna be you doing that. And guess what? He ain't gonna be able to find a job because who the hell is gonna hire a man when they get there and get his resume and do a background check and see that he was arrested for armed robbery, Cheryl? Are you kidding me? You're gonna be stuck paying for everything in this man's life. Like, if there's anybody that's stuck on stupid and dumb and can't do shit right, it is you. First of all, you picked up with your son to drive across the country, didn't have no game plan. I can't stand women who sit there and don't use common sense because of a man in their life. You obviously are an insecure woman and you accept anything because Josh, he doesn't be treating you really all that great. Anyways, y'all sit there and argue over the dumbest stuff. But he's like, look, Cheryl, she been here 31 years. You only been here like 2. So she's like, oh, really? I can drive hundreds of miles to come see you. Where was she at the last 2 years, Josh? He was like, yeah, but I get it. But she been there for me before that. And it's like, first of all, Cheryl, his mama is tired of having pick up and drive for her dumbass son because he can't learn to stay out of jail. After the first 1 or 2 times, I'm done. As a parent, Josh, you are a grown-ass man. If you want to keep making these mistakes, that's on you. I can't keep driving back and forth because you don't know how to stay your ass out of jail. But Cheryl, if you want to keep doing that because he must be doing all these great things in bed for you and slowly but surely taking care of your son with the slightest of help, that's good on you. But the mama is sick and tired of it. She got shit to do, okay? She can't be constantly driving around to jail for her son because he want to do stupid stuff and then you want to pick up on it because you got this weird obsession, fetish with psychopaths. So now you want to date an armed robbery and now you're going to be paying for basically all his stuff for the rest of his life. If there's anybody that's a dodo bird, it is you. Let's move on. I'm so tired of him too. I actually agree with Josh, the fact that he says Cheryl and his mama are just alike. And you sit there and wonder why you got with Cheryl because that's the type of woman they raised you. A hard-headed, stubborn, constantly angry person. But I think they're going to break up before the season's over with. And honestly, Cheryl, you need to take it as a blessing in disguise. Let's move on to Marcelino and Brittney. Y'all, I feel for Brittney's story so much. She's going to the lawyer to try and get help about her kids that she put up for adoption. When she was younger, she was homeless, 12 years old in the streets, got pregnant by a man who was 30 years old, obviously a pervert who can knock up a goddamn teenager. But but she would like to find him now that she's more stable in her life. And, you know, the lawyer basically tells her, look, it's going to be hard. If you're telling me, you know, that, you know, your parental rights were terminated by the state, you know, they're going to make it it makes it a lot more complicated to try and find the kids. But you also need to set your, you know, emotional standards and be prepared for, even if we do find your kids, the new parents or the new guardians that have them, they might not want you to have contact with them. And I couldn't imagine that feeling, you know, now that she's gotten into a better place with her life. You know, you never forget your kids that you put up for adoption. And I'm sure her kids are like, oh my God, like, why did my mom give me up? And I'm sure if they heard her story, they would understand and be open to hearing and getting, you know, why she had to give them up for a better life. Because being pregnant, a pregnant teenager on the streets, you know, constantly having to commit crime is no, you know, conducive lifestyle for any type of kid. So she did the right thing. And I just hope this really works out for her. Now, Marcelino, on the other hand, he want to sit there talking about, oh, I'm understanding this is going to be a big uphill battle, a lot more worse than, you know, dealing with the whole Gino situation. But he's stuck thinking about the money because he still owed $30,000 on lawyer's fees, and they got a baby on the way. And guess what? His ass don't want to get up and get a 9-to-5 because you feel like poker is supposed to be the end-all be-all. Marcelino, I'm going to need your big-headed, you know, tan, Mr. Clean-looking ass to find you a 9-to-5. You can work at Subway, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. I don't care. You can be a janitor for all I care, because you need to understand that your little highfalutin ego self is not all that you think you are. You want to sit there and think that you bring the whole table and the whole meal, you know, to the table, but you don't. All you is a snack, okay? You don't be offering that much, Marcelino. And this little ego that you got, I'm going to need you to drop this big-headedness. And I think Brittney's going to get tired of it, because from the preview I saw, she about to check Marcelino. So whatever poker term you need to hear, whatever fold, you know, you broke the bank, whatever, leave the table and go find you a real job, okay? Thank you, Marcelino. So let's move on to Clint and Tracy real quick, because Polo Tink Tink is all I can say for him. He's so in love with Tracy. He calls her the goddess. He goes to tell the mama, look, mama, I know you don't understand, but I got to go bail her out. It's $5,000, you know, 10% of that is $500. And she's like, you think you're going to get that money back? He's like, Mom, she's going to do better. I know she's going to go to rehab. And, you know, if she does good, they're going to lessen her sentence. She's like, bruh, how many times do you have to bump your head to understand that this is not it? The woman, the first couple of times, took off with your money, your ring, the rental car. We see the flashback where he calling the mama crying, talking about Mom. She's like, what happened, Clint? Motherfucking crack, Mom. That every time they show that part, I die. It's motherfucking crack, Mom. So if you understand this motherfucking crack, Clint, I'm gonna need you to walk the other direction. I get that you love Tracy, but that's a battle that you cannot do for her. You cannot want to fix that for Tracy. And the mom said it right. She's like, look at me. You know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth, Clint. You lose me and your dad if you keep up with this. He's like, I know, Mom, but I just have to do it. So that's what he does. His little hard-headed behind goes down to the jail and bails Tracy out. But we understand, actually, he admits after 2 weeks, they said that, you know, Tracy and him want a little bit of private time. So after a couple of weeks, they invited the producers back. So, you know, they're talking and stuff, and she's like, I'm glad to be back home and in the bed and everything. And he actually reveals that, oh no, they didn't want $500. They wanted the whole $5,000. He wanted everything up front. And if she shows up to court, then he'll get the money back. And you better hope she show her ass up to court. Hell, I don't care if I got to drag Tracy there myself. Bitch, you gonna show up to court so I can get my little refund, $5,000, because that is not no cheap fee. But she claims that she wants to do better. But Clint, you need to understand, the type of drugs that she's on it's a battle. She's not on no damn weed, you know, no marijuana, like no simple shit like that. She's on that high level drug. When you start getting into that crack, that heroin, that methalina, that is a monkey that is on your back for the rest of your life, because all it takes is that one thing to just take you back to that sunken place. The switch, and it's over. And she's right back off her sobriety train. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now, the question is, everybody's raising, you know, a little, we all want to know, Clint, like, if Tracy's doing all this stuff and she was caught with meth and you was caught with marijuana in the car, you might be getting a high along with her. Now, do I think he's on meth? No, but I do think he might be lacing his weed with some shit. And first of all, Clint, I'm gonna need you to start taking baths a little bit more often because you just stay looking dirty. Your hair look greasy. You look like you don't take baths. On a good scale of 1 to 10, you a solid 3, 4. And I just honestly think the reason he keeps going back to Tracy because that's the only woman who done showed him love in a long ass time. When you lonely and got nothing to do with your life, but you know, masturbate to softcore Playboy magazines, and you finally get a woman to, you know, break you off a little nookie, a little cookie, a little something that night, you hang on to that. Clint obviously has not had a lot of women in his life, and Tracy is just the one thing finally, you know, giving him a little bit of hope. So he's gonna keep hanging on to that. Loneliness is something too that people don't consider makes you make dumb decisions. Yeah, speaking of loneliness, let's talk about Angela and Tony because that bitch is dumb as hell. This woman still got Tony in her house. I do not understand how Angela can sit there trying to make all these rules for Tony. He is a grown-ass man and you treating him like a 15-year-old teenage boy. Granted, that's how he acts, but like, you need to quit like holding him hostage. Like, let him go. Let him go. Even Tony talking about, oh, she gonna push me to the edge. I feel like I'm getting ready to break. And if she does, if I keep getting pushed to the edge, I'm gonna leave. Okay then, Tony, with your bad self, go ahead then. Leave, Tony. Where you gonna go, Tony? Because the only reason you came back to her house is because you wanted to say that you legally gotta stay there because that's what's on your probation papers. So if you feel like you can leave, then why ain't you left yet, Tony? Because you ain't got nowhere else to go. Now, Angela came out looking all nice and hot in her little red dress, talking about, oh, I'm getting ready to go out. He like, where you going? First of all, nigga, why you even asking me questions? Because as long as you ain't paying no bills up in this goddamn place, you ain't got no right to be asking me no fucking questions, okay? But she's like, I'm getting ready to go out. He like, well, why didn't you invite me? Because they don't like your ass, Tony. That's cheap. Simple, put blunt right to the point. They don't like your ass, Tony. So you gonna stay here. Don't get in no shit. He started trying to ask, like, oh, what time you coming home? She like, why you worried about it? I ain't gonna tell you when I'm coming home. Why? So you can try and beat me home after doing some stupid stuff? Like, Tony, the entitlement on your ass, too, is just, it is baffling. So she goes out, and she sees her friend, Donna Faye. I love her sister. Donna Faye was there. Her little friend, Tommy, the one that's just trying to hang on to Angela. Why don't you break Tommy off a little something, Angela? Yeah, that's the good man right there in front of your face. And you want to keep friend zoning him. Like, I swear, you know, sometimes women don't be looking at men because it's like, oh, he's too nice for me. Like, it's that type of stuff. I think Angela kind of wants a bad boy. A little, you know, she feel like only reason why I think she keep Tony around because he doing something magical in bed for her little old ass. She's obviously had some cobwebs down there for some time. It's been a little drought. So Tony's the only thing that's keeping it somewhat moist, and she's trying to hold on to it because Donna Faye had to ask, why are you still with this man? Can't you understand he's a sleazeball? She's like, oh, you know, well, Tony, like, when everything's good, he's good. He just makes bad decisions. That's an excuse, Angela. He's a grown-ass man. Quit making them excuses for him. But Donna Faye had a good idea, was like, okay, why don't you teach Tony a lesson? Because he called, and she wouldn't be on her little big and bad stuff talking about, oh, I'm a rejected right now. So Donna Faye's like, come stay in my house. You know, give a taste of his medicine. For a second, Angela thought about it, but when they started leaving, Donna Faye's like, oh, you gonna follow me? She's like, no, I'm gonna go home. Donna Faye like, you chicken. So she drive home, and we think she going home, but no, she really called to go tell Tony, oh, I'm gonna stay at Donna Faye's. I'm staying out tonight. I'm having such a good time. So he's like, okay, you know, love you. All right, good night. And really, she was doing a stakeout. Angela was on her FBI, you know, CSI type stuff out there chain smoking. Did y'all see the ashtray full of cigarettes? Y'all, I swear she could be the spokesperson for Newport. But she's gonna be on his ass like white on rice. First of all, she already got a tracking device on his phone. Like, I tell you that saying is true. Hell had no fury like a woman scorned. Angela is on his ass cakes for real. Tony, the next step you make, I bet you Angela gonna be there. She right there outside the house, wait for him to call a prostitute over or for his dumb ass to walk outside so she can blast his ass. But nonetheless, you need to kick him out anyways. But we see from the preview next week, she gonna take his ass back even more. Tell me, oh, Tony, you're so great. Girl, the only reason you with him is because he's breaking your back off in the middle of the night. Ugh. Just thinking about it makes me sick. So let's get on to Andrea and Lamar. Because, Andrea, let me tell you something. I'm going to need you to hear me clear, sis. Lamar is not going to be a motherfucking Mormon. It's not happening. Mormonism, whatever you want to call it, it's not happening for Lamar. First of all, he's a goddamn crip from LA. They ain't never heard of no Mormons a day in their life. But before they had a little scripture study, she take him to the sex shop, getting all handcuffs and chains and, you know, whips and stuff. And then want to sit there and talk about, oh, I'm still not having sex or being intimate with Lamar because I feel like he needs to woo me and shows me that he deserves this. So why are you dragging him to the sex store if you're not going to use it? Get him vibrators and everything for the G-spot. Lamar getting all excited, looking at the camera like, a little do you know, Lamar, bitch, you're going to be outside. You're going to be hearing that bzzz behind the door, but you ain't going to be in there. Like she said, you're going to be sleeping on the couch and I'm going to be in my room locked up by myself. My throat's sore. But nonetheless, after the little sex shop session, after we see how freaky Andrea is, it always is the church folks that be the worst, the real, you know, closet freaks and stuff. He gets drugged to a scripture reading because Andrea wants him to be Mormon so bad. Like, girl, it's not happening. So the white folks come over and Lamar wastes no time starting off like an asshole. He like, y'all want a burr? And they like, oh no, not today. Andrea looked at him like, nigga, really? That's how we starting? And he looking at her like, and he wastes no time. They start reading the scripture. He's like, oh, how do y'all feel about forcing people into religion? And one lady was like, well, I was forced as a child. And it's like, but he not no child. He a grown-ass man. And he's like pulling up something on his phone. Then he reads, people of African-American descent. Basically, he was reading off that niggas couldn't be no Mormons until 1978, which was like yesterday. So he like, I don't want to do nothing like that. I can't feed my soul, nothing like that. Now, Andrea here's is like, I understand all that, but let me explain to you why Mormonism is so important to me. She goes into how the book helped her and everything. And Andrea, that's great and everything, but you can't force that on Lamar. You keep, oh, I want him to be Mormon. I want him to be Mormon. But that's not how he was raised. I'm pretty sure he's probably Christian or Baptist or whatever, you know, believes in Jesus and has a faith like that. But I've been to school of Mormons. Them hoes is serious. They wake up 6 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, you know, school morning, and go to seminars. And I had plenty of friends try to ask me, hey, G, you want to come to seminars 6 o'clock on Wednesday? I love you, Jesus, but I'll worship from a distance. I'm not going to goddamn Mormon seminar 6 o'clock in the morning on a school day. It's not happening. Not on duty, not on duty, okay? But yeah, so he gets up, the white woman tried to touch him. He's like, why you, like, don't touch me, don't touch me. I'm getting offended. Like, Lamar, I'm not gonna lie, I wish you could talk to Andrea and had this whole conversation private, but I guess you want to make a scene for them white folks, and sure enough you did. Sure enough, so much so the white woman cried, talking about, I didn't want to offend him. I just wanted him to understand, like, Andrea's story and, you know, how this religion, the scripture is so good for everybody. And Lamar wasn't hearing none of it. He basically said, look, it's not feeding my soul. It's not for me. You know, me and God good. Me and Jesus good. We got a relationship. Am I excused now? And walked his ass up and was like, I hope you learned something today, Andrea. And she's just looking at him like, I want my husband, you know, to be a Mormon if he wants to be with me. But I will raise a valid point. That woman was right when she said, y'all gonna have a hard time raising kids because split religion relationships, if a person is constantly trying to force it on somebody, it does not work. It just does not work, especially with kids, because now he's going to, Andrea gonna be taking damn Priscilla to the Mormon little scripture readings, and Lamar is going to fight it with everything in him. All right, y'all, last but not least, let's get on this goddamn Megan, Michael, and Sarah. Y'all, Megan, first of all, her little Cocoa Puff shaped ass met her friend in the park to basically explain to him something he already knew. Michael ain't shit. He done ghosted her ass after 3 weeks of go try to fly down to Texas talking about, oh, she the one, I love her, I want to be with her. And then when she finally called his ass out for still talking to other women, and now Mike want to say, oh, she's controlling, she's nagging, she's sneaky. Like, Michael, you just one of those dudes who don't want to be held accountable for the fuck shit that they do in the streets. That's just what it is. And so now he wants to sit there and introduce this new woman after Megan's, you know, complaining about how she's been eating all his lies and stuff. She need to work all that weight off. Bitch, you was eating his lies, his bad hairline, his dry ponytail. You was eating the child support he still owes Sarah. You was eating, you know, the damn baby he done knocked up once again when you was supposed to be with him. Like, girl, Michael did a number on you. But now he's going to do a number on Maria, because Maria, this little hoe that broad that jumped out the car, that's supposed to be more mature than Megan and Sarah put together, because she's clearly 30 on her way to 40. You can see the age on her face. But he talking about, oh yeah, we vibe, we together, she understands me. You know, so much so, like, I stopped coming to her and say I want a threesome. Like, I know she'll possibly be down for that, and I got to worry about her, you know, being all on me. That's your problem, Michael. You want a woman not to hold you accountable. You want a bottom bitch. And basically a bottom bitch is, you know, the main girl that's always going to be there even after you go out in the streets and do your freaking, you know, dog stuff. You can come back to her, and she's still going to understand that you're going to do you at the end of the day, and she's still going to be loyal to you to a fault. That's what you want, Michael. But I'm thinking you're underestimating Maria, because when she got in the room before you went to go see Sarah, she quickly said, by the way, there's going to be open lines of communication. You're going to be texting me. You're going to be calling me. You're going to make sure you had that phone on you. I don't think you see it yet, Michael, but Maria's going to be just like Megan and Sarah. Give it a month or two. But I can already tell I don't like her, because this idea of, oh, you know, he's just married to Sarah on paper. Me and him are emotionally married. First of all, hell, for how long y'all been together for you to be talking about y'all emotionally married? There obviously was some overlappage between Maria and Megan, because she obviously got a lot of stuff invested in Michael for them to be married emotionally. Either that or Michael really is just dropping off some crazy dick on these hoes, because he got Sarah mind fucked, he got Megan messed up in the head, and now Maria, you next too, bitch. I'm just worried for you. Why can't you learn from other people? Nonetheless, Michael goes to see his daughter. She bust out crying. I think partly because she just had this fear. I think she built up in her head that her dad's not coming back again. That, like, you know, she did something to make Michael go away. You know, Sarah in the confessional would say, like, oh, her daughter would constantly be like, why doesn't daddy want me? Did I do something, you know, to make him leave? And I think her seeing him was a shock, and it just overwhelmed her with a bunch of emotions. I think at her age, she just doesn't understand. But also, I think on top of that too, Sarah does a lot of coaching. Sarah talking about, oh, you worried he's going to take you? And she goes, And it's like, Sarah, like, I get that you understand your daughter's emotions, but I think you compiling, you know, all of your baggage on top of that is kind of messed up. But I just get she's just an angry mother who wants Michael to hold his duties as a father. And then, Michael, you want to sit there and be confused, you know, oh, you know, why is Ariana acting this way? I don't understand. She used to be so happy and stuff. She's acting this way because you are absent ass daddy. You ain't holding up your fatherly duties. You knocked Sarah up and then ran off like a fuck nigga. Like, that's what you did, Michael. I'm not understanding how you're not understanding. Like, I'm just, the logic. You didn't even go see your kids after you got out of jail. You ran off behind Megan's Cocoa Puff shake behind before you even went to go see your own daughters, Michael. Like, the dumbness. And then y'all get in a fight because Sarah obviously knew you was up to no good, because when she asked about the hotel, she's like, it's a bitch in there, ain't it? Who is she? Is it Megan? Is it Megan? Little do you know, girl, it is Maria. And I'm sure you're going to run into her later on in the season. But he would talk, why are we talking about, I don't got to explain nothing to you. First of all, Michael, you would not be getting no type of visits with your kids solo dolo until I understand that you got a stable job, you got a stable house or location to be in, and you got some money coming in to take care of them. Because obviously you show that you can't do it now, and you want to come up all of a sudden, surprise your kids, and then, you know, pull the okie doke, oh, I see you, and then come back in 2 months, like, you want to pop in and out of their lives, and you want to pop in with another bitch, and then think you're going to introduce them to the kids on the slick. Sarah knew you. She knew the type of dog stuff you was about to do. That's why she asked if there was another bitch in the equation, because she knew you would do some stuff like that. But right now she thinks it's Megan, but oh no, it's Maria, and I'm sure y'all gonna meet you know, on the back end of the season. But that was the episode, you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all tell me what you thought about, you know, everything that went down. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to your girl's channel. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.